All right, why the Detroit Lions should look to draft Matthew Stafford replacement in the 2021 draft and probably move on for Stafford all the way around. But let's talk about it. Share the video. Check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist. And don't forget, if you want to, hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And you look at it, the Lions only played 6 teams with a winning record. So, in my mind, they should at least won 10 games, okay? They played Packers twice. One wasn't competitive, one was. Saints, it really wasn't competitive as the record looked. Titans, they got blew out. Indianapolis, they got blew out. Tampa Bay, they got blew out. So the Lions didn't have a hard schedule at all when it turns out to be. All right? And even with those 6 losses, they still lost to teams they should have beat. Chicago finished under 500. Vikings finished under 500. That's 3 losses right there. You know? So in actuality, their 9 losses go right there. I think they end up finishing with 11 losses, whatever it was. So people sit here and say, "Oh, Stafford's not the problem." How he not the problem? People say it's the defense. He had a top. People forget Stafford had a top 2, top 3 defense. They did the job versus Dallas. He did not put up the points. Let's not forget this year, he got knocked out of 3 games. Okay, for Stafford not being a problem, he got knocked out of 3 games. All right, 3 games I can remember. Thirdly, do we gonna forget they lost the game in Minnesota? He threw 2 picks in the red zone. Despite all the running Dalvin Cook was doing, they still had a chance to win that game. He was up 14-0 to the Saints and still couldn't produce no more points. Come on. And they would have lost the Atlanta game if it wasn't for Kenny Galladay. So we talking about bringing a quarterback back who in 13 years is whatever. They said the latest was he was 9-54 versus teams above 500. I don't know if that included this year. If it didn't include this year, he's 9-60 above versus teams above 500. How's he not the problem? Well, they don't have this for Matthew. Neither does Aaron Rodgers got everything he wants. Rodgers got 2 lame duck receivers starting, if they start with 3. A running back that wasn't taken in the first round. Or another, his primary receiver wasn't taken in the first round either. He missed his left tackle Bakhtiari. Didn't make no difference Sunday. They still smashed the Bears. Remember, Joe Flacco didn't have enough help. Lamar Jackson took that same team. All right, let's talk about Lamar Jackson for a minute and compare him to Stafford. He got a good defense. Let's not trip. But they still got 1,000 points to Kansas City. Let's go through it over the last couple years. Is Marquise Brown better than Marvin Jones? Kenny Galladay? No. No, he's not. Is Gus Edwards? J.K. Dobbs played a little bit. Mark Ingram didn't play. So is J.K. Edwards and is J.K. Dobbs and Gus Edwards better than DeAndre Swift? I don't think so. He got a straight O-line. We give him that. But Stafford had a straight O-line, managed the injuries this year. Mark Andrews, Hockenson. I think Hockenson had a better year this year. So, what's the problem? Lamar Jackson still putting up points with Willie Snead. Marquise Goodwin, whatever his name is. Well, Hollywood Brown, excuse me. He's still putting up points with Boykins. Okay, so what's the difference? You get Lamar Jackson, Galladay, Marvin Jones, and Swift. They probably going to the Super Bowl. You want to pick somebody else? Let's pick a random team. I don't know. I'm going to pick the worst random team that I could think of. I really can't think of one right now. But, let's think. Derek Carr. Let's take Derek Carr, for example. He got Nelson Aguilar, who had a better year with drops. Henry Ruggs didn't do much this year. Darren Waller, a great receiver. Josh Jacobs, a great receiver. Still had a better year than Stafford. Stafford is just garbage, and nobody want to admit that. When it's time to win, Stafford choke every time. Now, if it's a situation where they was blew out by so much and Stafford bring him back and he wasn't supposed to win, he can win. Remember that San Francisco game we played a couple years ago in San Francisco? And they came, he was throwing the ball. Galladay had to catch it like this, like that. And they closed the gap. And then Stafford started throwing the ball in the dirt, missing receivers. He's a garbage quarterback. And nobody wants to admit that because he's a white boy. He's garbage. If Matthew Stafford was DeAndre Jackson from Jackson, Mississippi. Everybody be calling for his job. Time to move on. He trash. Every year, 9-54 versus teams above 5, and it's probably 9-60 now. He didn't beat above 500 team this year or last year. So he's talking about a guy who is 9-60, probably versus the teams above 500. In his 13-year career, he only beat 9 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In his 13-year career, he doesn't average one winning team on his resume a year. He only beat 9 above 500 teams. He only had 2 playoff appearances, which both he lost, which one competitive. Don't forget, he had a top defense that defended good enough for them to beat Dallas. So for people defending Stafford, you can't show me a playoff win. You can't show me too many wins above winning teams above 500. So what's the point? And he's talking about starting this joker next year, and I'm okay with that. If you draft a guy high, start him next year with perhaps 3 different receivers. Marvin Jones said, "I don't want to come back here. I want to win." That's what Starvin Marvin said. Amendola ain't gonna come back unless they overpay him. If they want to add Amendola back, they could have paid him for 2 years instead of 1. And Galladay about to walk. Most likely, you probably gonna tag Romeo Okoro. What's the defense? It's the defense. He had a good defense before. That didn't change things. And I'm gonna say this: I believe the defense played better than the offense at times. How they get leads on Chicago and the injuries did happen there? How they get leads on Chicago? Ask me, how they get lead on Chicago? The defense. Stafford didn't put up enough points as usual. How they get a lead on New Orleans? The defense. Come on. How did they beat Arizona? Well, the defense held Kyler Murray in check. Tell me I'm lying. Come on. How did they beat Atlanta? High-powered offense Atlanta, and they had Julio Jones. Kenny Galladay in the defense. Who else you going for? They could have beat Minnesota even with all that running the first time. When they keep running and running and running. When he kept running, Matthew Stafford turned the ball 2 times over in the red zone. Come on. 2 times. Or they could have tied Green Bay, but he missed Marvin Jones on the cross. Nobody talk about his bum ass missing passes. This Sunday, they could have beat Minnesota. I don't care about the cause. He threw a pick to change the game. He threw a pick. Indianapolis, he threw 2 picks. Did he not? Did he not throw 2 picks in Indianapolis? One led to a touchdown. The other was a pick 6. They forget, did he score in Carolina? He got shut out in Carolina. Come on, man. The defense held Carolina to 20 points. Where was Stafford at once again? Yo, I'm thinking of games. He ain't had that good a game in Jacksonville. Oh, you know Stafford. Shut the fuck up. He go garbage bum. Bum. That's a new word for Stafford. Number 9 is a bum. You could tell his whole ass wife I said it. He a bum. She needs to learn to shut the fuck up too. He a bum. Trade that bum like you get something for him. This dude was like 0-95 versus Trubisky. Bum. Get rid of him. Well, he's better than Dak Prescott. No, he not. Prescott had more 400-yard passing games than Stafford did this year. He ain't played like 4 games. He a bum. Come on, man. Kirk Cousins got a playoff win over New Orleans. Before him, he a bum. What Stafford do versus New Orleans? Lost in the playoffs. Well, when Jim Caldwell was... They lost in the playoffs. Any more excuses? How many games last year he got it back? He only played a few. He lost. Well, you can see what this team is without... Any team without their starting quarterback is losers. You put Mason Rudolph instead of Ben Roethlisberger. Did they make the playoffs last year? No. Come on. They've been hanging on this dude for 13 years. Imagine you staying with your wife and she been fucking 13 different dudes for 13 years. You were divorced before that happened, right? He's a bum. He's a bum. She's a bum. He a bum. It's time to cash out this bum. They getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. Trade him to 49er land. If you win the 49er land, I'm not doubting he will. Because Kyle Shanahan better than any coach he ever had. They got a great defense coming back. Some people coming off injury. I could live with that. So I want good for him. I want him gone. For his sake and our sake. It's time to go find him. And if you're going to draft the quarterback this year, bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. Bring in Jameis Winston. Whoever. But you number 7. So more than likely, they're going to have to move up. You already mentioned draft picks this year. All right. Zach Wilson, not sure. Justin Fields, probably going to go higher than that. Is a situation that you could trade up and get the Jets number 2 pick? Yeah, it's going to take some money. But if they start Stafford next year, it's going to be the same shit. It's going to be the same shit. They're going to lose a lot of games. They ain't going to win up. No matter who the coach is. They know Stafford's. Most of these dudes like Lewis Riddick only see the highlights. They don't watch the games. They don't see all the consistent missed throws, the interceptions, the inability to read defenses, guess wrong. I mean, they can believe what they want to believe, but it's going to be hard for them to get a quarterback this year. They might not. Maybe Trey Lance fall to them. And I have no issue with Stafford starting next year, but as long as the future is behind him, as long as they got a future player behind him, I'm okay with it. But then again, you're not going to win nothing with Stafford. You didn't win nothing year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11, year 12, year 13. Okay? You didn't win nothing in 13 years. And you talking about, well, we didn't have, you ain't going to have that next year. You got $10 million in cap, dumbasses. $10 million in cap? Who you bringing in? Well, we can trade this guy. They don't want them. More than likely, you're going into next year with the same roster, with all new 3 receivers. So it don't even matter. People, we need to draft defense. At the end of the day, you can draft defense all you want to. It's about drafting the best available player if you're not going to take a quarterback. And nobody going to say the Lions next year. And don't forget, you got Cora coming in. You still tied to Jamie Collins. Still tied to Tavai. So people talking about we need defense. We had defense before. And Matthew Stafford still failed to deliver. So what do y'all want? We had defense. And he still didn't win. He had offenses with job at best, Calvin. He still didn't win. So what else is y'all wanting to do? This is a total rebuild with no cap space. So you're going to lose Galladay. You're going to lose all your offensive receivers. So you still want to draft defense and throw him out there with Cephas and pick up some bum receivers? Ain't nobody coming to Detroit. Ain't nobody coming to Detroit. Because, one, they don't have no money to get nobody. And you only got 5 draft picks. It's the most unattractive place ever. And people don't understand that next year you throw 3 receivers out there with Stafford, excuse me. What's going to change? 3 new receivers. And let's say Cephas, 2 more receivers. So you only got 5 draft picks. You got no money for free agents. I don't know who your free agent is. Romeo Corey, your free agent. You going to franchise tag him? You probably going to walk because you ain't got no money. Defensively, you're not that bad. It's just that the scheme was bad. You got players. You got Jeff Okudah going to come back better. Arari going to come back better. Okay, you bringing in Julian Okura. He coming back. Somehow you keep Romeo. The defense not that. It's just that the scheme was bad. But honestly, do you trust the Lions to get the right people in the right positions? But it's time to move on from Stafford. And if you can accumulate some draft picks for him, do it. Get some draft picks for him. Indianapolis, Phillip Rivers might moving on. Get their 2nd or 3rd and 4th. I'm more of the 3rd, 4th, 5th variety. Kind of get multiple picks out of there. Trade them. And so the world can see, was it really Detroit holding Stafford back? Hate this time of year. Was it really Detroit holding Stafford back? That's just my opinion on it. Everybody gonna have that opinion, but I've been right for 13 years. Well, I've been right for the last few years. So prove me I'm wrong. 13 years, he only beat 9 teams above 500. 13 years, he ain't got a playoff win. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And you think it's gonna get better next year? It's not. But hey, let me let you know. Let me know what you guys think. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All my social media links there. Fast way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. All the links there. Everyone advertise your business on the channel, chop it up, video request. Links there. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time.